How's it going, everybody? Ty Sites Shadow Games Report, doing part one of RoboCop Rogue City tonight. Sorry for the sticky startup for the last stream that I just started up. I don't know. The sound just wasn't working. I don't know, man. Just sometimes just things don't work, and I have no control over it whatsoever. It just chooses to do so, and I can't help it. I had to restart my computer, and everything works fine now. So, we are back, we are here, and we are not queer. I don't know, it rhymed. It rhymed, so I felt like I wanted to say it. Let's do about 30 minutes to an hour of news before we get into the game. I have been looking forward to play this game for a while. I wanted to play it like a year ago. It ended up, I guess, going out of sale. Never came back on sale again, it seems like. At least I never saw it back on sale. So I never bought it. It's on Game Pass right now, though, so if you guys want to go play it for free, it's on Game... Well, not really free, but, you know, 15, 16 bucks. It's actually, I don't know, like 14 bucks for PC. If you got Game Pass on PC, it's a little bit cheaper. Not too much cheaper, just slightly. I don't know why. I don't know, we're just better. PC gamers, we're just better. Sorry. I still love you, Xbox. I still love you, PlayStation. Nintendo, you're okay. I don't know, Nintendo's not like really hardcore gamers anymore. You fell off that boat like 20 years ago, it seems like. Never came back, never tried to swoop us back up again, so yeah, I've been stuck to PC ever since. Ever since Xbox abandoned me with their weird mid-console upgrades or whatever I used to call it. I don't know, I used to have a term for it. Either way, I'm going to shut up. Let's get into the news now. Let's get into today's news. Senate unanimously approves no pay rule for shutdowns. Massey accuses Fox News and billionaires of meddling in Kentucky primary. U.S. and China agree no tolls in Strait of Hormuz. RFK Jr. and Schwarzenegger share gym selfie at Gold's Venice. Rubio offers Cuba $100 million in aid, blames regime delay. U.S. plans to indict Cuba's Raul Castro, U.S. DOJ officials say. U.S. pledges $1.8 billion more for UN humanitarian aid, even as it's cut foreign assistance overall. Huh? Let me read that again. U.S. pledges $1.8 billion more for UN humanitarian aid, even as it's cut foreign assistance overall. Okay, now that makes more sense. U.S. grand jury widens charges against Mexico's Jalisco New Generation cartel. Is it Jalisco or Jalisco? Oh, anytime I see like something Spanish, just go ahead and pronounce the J's as an H. That's just, I don't know, a rule I gave myself. New Generation cartel, second in command. Okay. Did we even know that that was going on? I don't remember hearing about that. Did I miss that news? We got cartel members being charged right now. I don't know much beyond that. Might come across that again later. U.S. Rep. Max Miller sues ex-wife for defamation and escalation of long-term running divorce feud. Trump administration aims to relax limits on toxic wastewater from coal-fired power plants. A surge in violence followed Trump's cuts to USAID programs in Africa, a study finds. Louisiana senators passed new U.S. House map, while South Carolina plans for extra redistricting work. Supreme Court allows multi-order of abortion pill mifepristone pending appeal. CIA director meets with top officials in Havana, Cuban government says. We got Ratcliffe in Cuba right now. Senators approve withholding their own pay during government shutdowns. U.S. Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks resigns. Can't remember, is that the new guy or the old guy that was resigning? Is it gonna work? I want a photo! Give me a photo. I was trying to look at his face. Gives me a tiny little photo and I can barely see it. Don't make me zoom in on you. Don't make me zoom in on you. Who's that guy? Yeah, I recognize him. Is that the guy? Is that the Border Patrol Chief? Mike Banks resigns. Why? Is my first question. Trump invites Xi to visit White House later this year, touts special relationship with China. All right, let's get into today's content. Let me check my mic again. Make sure everything's on. We working? Everything's working. Oh, wait, my internet's not working. Why is my internet not working? It just like randomly went out. I just like randomly saw it. Well, looks like it's kicking back in, hopefully. Hopefully, you will be fine in like 2 seconds. I'm just gonna trust you. I'm gonna walk away from the screen now. Alright. Japan's government admits it possesses UAP data, including video footage, and says public disclosure will begin within the limits of national security restrictions. You mean within the limits of whatever the U.S. allows you to do? Because they'll kill you if you don't. That's what it seems like, at least. Just, speculating off of realness. Realness! I wonder when this is dated. I can't read Japanese, so this is all just a bunch of squiggles to me. I'm sure it means something well, though. Thousands of mysterious underwater UFOs spotted off U.S. shores from a report. That's from the NY Post. Slightly reputable source. And I do mean that slightly. Because sometimes they will post some bullshit. Did Did I play this yesterday? Secretary Rubio just exposed it to the entire world. Iran would have so many missiles and so many drones that they could overwhelm anybody's defenses, then nobody could do anything about their nuclear program.
To the United States, Joe Biden was begging to get back into a nuclear deal with them. The whole world, the French, the Germans, the UK, they imposed new sanctions on Iran last year, snapback sanctions because of the nuclear threat. The whole world has seen Iran was building up a conventional capability where they would have so many missiles and so many drones that they could overwhelm anybody's defenses. Once they had that, nobody could do anything about their nuclear program, because they would say, if you attack our nuclear program, we will wipe out 6 countries in the Gulf region and you won't be able to defend against it. You won't have enough patriots, because you get these swarms of drones, these swarms of rockets. They were on the verge. In a year from now, they would have been at that point. The president said that's an intolerable risk. People are struggling to make that connection, but the connection is very real. They were building such a high number. They were going to have so many drones and missiles that no one can attack Iran, because the result would be catastrophic for the region. And once they had that immunity, then they would break out towards a weapon. We knew that. The president is not going to allow that to happen under his watch.
Yeah. Let's go to the
Senate unanimously approves no pay rule for shutdowns. So I guess whenever there's a shutdown, I don't know why they would vote for this. I don't know. I feel like I want to pay attention more to what's going on in the Senate, but at the same time, I mean, there's just so much more interesting things going on. Motion to proceed, a vote to bring the main resolution up for debate and consideration on the Senate floor. So, it's still up for debate, it seems like. But we have everybody repeating the same bullshit. So, did it pass or it didn't pass? Let's find out real quick. Oh yeah, we got robots coming to take your jobs, everybody. I'll play that while I'll figure this out. Pay is placed in escrow and released once funding is restored rather than permanently. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So this was a live stream last night. I guess it's over now. But it was basically just showing how these things can work for over 8 hours, which it looks like it might have worked for like 12 hours. So yeah, I'm just going 3 hours into it. Just showing that it can work at a human's pace. I'd probably say it's about a grandma's pace. I'd be a lot faster. I want that bonus pay. I'd be like doing flips and shit. I'd be like stacking the boxes on top of each other, making sure everything gets down the line faster. I'm just kidding, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably get fired. Look how good it is. Wow. If you don't understand my sarcasm by now, then GTFO. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Stay with me. Watch this robot kick boxes down the line. So it seems like they're actually going to be paid as soon as everybody else gets paid. So as soon as a budget gets decided on, the Senate will also get paid. So it's not withholding their pay entirely. Just to get more information there. Okay, Massey accuses Fox News and billionaires of meddling in Kentucky primary. In a radio interview on May 13th, incumbent Representative Thomas Massey claimed Fox News blacklisted him for 18 months and that billionaires Paul Singer, John Paulson and Miriam Adelson funneled millions through their super PACs to support former Navy SEAL Ed Gallerin. Is it Galrin? I don't know how to say his last name. Galrin? Galrain? Galrin? In Kentucky's 14th District Republican primary on May 19th, so that's only a few days away, Massey's recent poll numbers shows Galrain leading 48% to 43% among likely voters. You know, I hate to say this, but we need poll watchers not only for Democrats, we need it for Republicans too. You know, like, we actually kind of need to start leaning more towards an independent party or a new party of sorts. I say, Massey could run as an independent if he doesn't win this primary. I don't think he's probably going to, just based on the funding. I'm sure it's probably rigged anyways. But it would be nice to have a third option. Honestly, I figured we'd have better third options by now, but they always get stolen by the CIA or some other off entity. Either way. So here's Thomas Massey. Let me pause that so it doesn't keep going.
The bad thing about being the nail that sticks up is the force of the whole swamp has come down on me. And it's billionaires. It's not a grassroots funded thing. It's not like a bunch of MAGA, activists have said, I'm going to send $20 to this guy in Kentucky so he can beat Thomas Massey. It's predominantly 3 billionaires who are upset that I've never voted for foreign aid, particularly foreign aid to Israel. And they're also upset that I voted against the wars. And so these billionaires are funding a super PAC called MAGA Kentucky. They are not MAGA and they have never been to Kentucky. They're hedge fund managers and gambling magnates. There will be $6 million spent this week on TV and radio and mail. So I apologize to the folks here in Cincinnati who have to watch the ads about this race in Kentucky. But some people ask me, well, surely, Congressman Massey, now you would be against Citizens United, which allows unlimited spending in super PACs. And it's a double-edged sword. Let me tell you why I'm not against it. There are reforms that I could go for. Let me give you a reform. Maybe what if you just said the only money you can spend in Kentucky in a race in Kentucky is from the people of Kentucky? I don't believe that would hinder your First Amendment. But the issue of the super PACs, what's happened is Fox News, which is sort of they got a monopoly on the screens in a lot of Republican houses, particularly people between the ages of 65 and 75. For the last 18 months, they've not invited me on a single show. And why are they doing that? Because they're afraid if they give me a venue to speak that the White House will shut them out. And they want access more than anything. They need access in this Trump presidency, whether it's with cabinet secretaries to come on their shows, at the drop of a hat, or to get a special scoop on something. That's what Fox wants. And so to keep that special access, they have blacklisted me. So I can't get on TVs in the living rooms of the people that vote in this election unless I can buy TV ads. Otherwise, it'd be hard to get on Fox. I have to pay to be on Fox now with my ads.
Seems like Trump is learning from his previous opponents and it's starting to apply those tactics to his. I mean, he would have thought would have been an ally. I think Massey actually was an ally a year and a half ago. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I want to say he was pro-Trump around that time. It is a new thing, at least within the past, I would probably say like 6 months or so. 6 months to 8 months, somewhere in there. All right. So, I came across this last night. I actually thought this was very, very interesting. And I think it's time for a lot of people to get very creative on AI and what you're actually able to do with it. Like, a lot of people don't really treat AI as like a partner in a sense of like a business partner. But maybe this is where people's minds kind of need to start focusing on when it comes to what can you achieve with such a technology, and is this technology as if you were to let's just say hire your own employee and do work for you, but not only would you be purchasing an employee for yourself, this person could work around the clock and automate tasks for you. Now, just bear with me. Bear with me. He's going to explain it.
These are my AI agents that I have living inside of this habitat that I built for them so that I could watch them work. And it's pretty much like a slave dungeon that they live inside of. And they just do work 24/7. In this factory room here, they run their own print-on-demand Etsy store. They make designs based on other successful products on Etsy. And they are also connected to Printify, so then they pretty much take their designs, place them on Printify's templates, and then Printify handles the actual shipping of the product to the customer. And they have made $7,000 in a month and a half doing this. In the same factory room, they also run a second Etsy store they just started selling fucking candles. And then they also started a supplement print-on-demand company selling nootropics. This is the second factory room where they run their own fucking Fiverr service, making thumbnails for YouTubers. And they've made 2 G's doing this.
I love these, like,
this is all ran through Fiverr. Essentially, these people don't know that they could just AI generate these thumbnails themselves in 5 seconds. So they go on Fiverr and they're paying us to do it. I also have one agent making music 24/7 and then another agent running an affiliate marketing business where he just creates blogs and buyer's guides and then it just shills different products and we make a commission off of it. The entire habitat that these agents live inside of was completely custom built by them. All of the work they do, the UI, everything was built by the agents. I just explained to them what I wanted them to do. The playing field has been leveled out. You don't need to be technical anymore. You just need to have good ideas. And
you don't
really
even need employees,
need to use
really.
your own skill set to your advantage. And what do I mean by that? I come from the Etsy space. I have built up dozens of Etsy stores in the past. Print-on-demand Etsy stores. I used to be one of these motherfuckers here that you're looking at that used to design this shit myself in Illustrator. But I decided to use these super intelligent agents to my advantage to 1000x my productivity, and I completely delegated all of that to the agents now. I also run a consulting business for car dealerships where it brings me leads, bro. It'll do anything you want. You just need to be an articulate individual and explain to your AI agents running on OpenClaw in GPT 5.5 or Hermes. You need to say, hey, I want to do this. I want to start an Etsy store. I want to start a Fiverr service. I want to start this. I want to connect you to my personal business I already run. Whatever it is, your AI agents can guide you through it, bro. You're over here asking me how to do it. Ask these guys how to do it because they're the ones that fucking built it. I'm just the brains behind the operation. I'm just the guy with the ideas. That's it. That's it. It has never been more important to have good ideas and be creative because the sky.
I actually had this idea years ago. We're just now getting to the point where we can actually use these tools. I mean, I literally joked with somebody, I think in like, I don't know, somebody I was like potentially going to date years ago. I was joking with them. I was like, they were like asking me, what am I going to do with my life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm probably going to start my own business and have a bunch of AI employees. And sure enough, that stopped the entire conversation because she was just like, wait, what? AI employees? Yes. AI employees. I mean, they're not really employees, but, you know, they're just as capable, if not more capable, because they're going to constantly be working, they're constantly going to be fulfilling the task that they're asked to do. Honestly, they might be better than an employee. I'm just going to stop right there, though. But I don't know. It's something to think about, guys. Like, everybody shits on AI right now, and I'm just like, no. We need to respect this thing. It might want to kill us one day, so maybe we should respect it a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to kill us, but also, too, if we're thinking about something that's going to be highly intelligent later, if not now, we might want to think about being nice to really everybody, not just AI. You never know. The AI can become like a superhero and be like, villain, you did this, this, and that on this date, and I'm going to smite you now. I mean, it could happen. Everybody laughs now, but just wait. Just wait. There's more. No country backs Iran nuclear weapons amid a U.S. campaign. Secretary Rubio says, I don't know that there is a country on the planet that is in favor of Iran having a nuclear weapon. Actually, there's quite a few Americans that are pro-nuclear weapon at this point. You guys, like, really went too far.
I don't know if there's a country on the planet.
You actually made Americans pro-nuclear weapons. Actually, I wasn't trying to play the music on that. I don't even know if this video is real. Oh, okay, it is AI. Good. All right, now we know. So this is an AI video. I guess it's just showing them doing like a Titanfall like drop. That's pretty good for AI though, if you ask me. It's also like a cool idea for Titanfall. Dropping in a Titan via some drones, which I don't even think those drones could lift that thing, but whatever. It's AI, so it doesn't matter. Moving on. Dr. Stephen Greer. I might have covered this video the other day. Let's just cover it again just because it's cool. Dr. Stephen Greer says, I don't know what keeps Tim Burchett up at night. It's the alien hybrid breeding program. Oh, he said, I know what keeps Tim Burchett
There
up
are
at night.
people out there right now, many watching right now, who just don't believe that any of this is happening. And that's fine. I get that. But over the last 2 weeks, multiple people, including 2 members of Congress, have not denied that our own government is experimenting with mixing the DNA between some alien species and humans, while the White House continues to telegraph that further disclosure is coming. We don't know when. Dr. Stephen Greer is the founder of the Disclosure Project. He is a researcher, a medical doctor. He's been on the forefront of this conversation for the last 3 decades. Dr. Greer, good to have you back. Last week, I had one of those members of Congress on this show, Tim Burchett, and he said this. Take a look.
If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth. This country would have come unglued. I think if they would have heard all that I heard, they would demand answers. And we need to. The people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal.
Okay, so he said the things that I've seen would keep you up at night. You texted me right after the show that night, Dr. Greer.
Right.
Do you know what he's talking about, like, specifically?
Yeah, I do. So for a number of decades, we have used the retrieved non-human bodies, biologicals are called, and created creatures that are part human, part not human, in very advanced biomedical research. And I've known about this since the 90s. And these have been used in covert operations, like the CIA document we have that admits they were using this sort of tech as well as the man-made UFOs to stage and hoax alien abductions and all manner of nonsense. The problem is it sounds like a science fiction movie, but it's been part of a larger multi-decade psychological warfare operation, partly run out of a division of the CIA and some out of other special operations and attached to the aerospace industry giants. But yes, we know details of that. We know where these weird experiments are going on. And I've handed that off to certain people in the national security structure and to certain members of Congress, as well as the names of whistleblowers who have been involved.
Okay, let me hold on. So there's a breeding program. Matt Gaetz said that. Tim Burchett didn't deny that. You're confirming that. Are there female volunteers that are taking part in this program? Like, how does that work?
No, there are no. The human subjects are ones who have been captured in distressed areas and used for human experimentation. It's similar to what one of our whistleblowers admitted to last year when he said
do
that.
You know, Dr. Greer, why would we do this? Like, who would want to do that?
They would do it to try to create diversions and make people think that there's a threat from outer space when there isn't one, and also to confuse and cover up illegally run covert programs and say the aliens are doing it. It's a classic diversion and deception operation.
Let me ask you about that. General Mike Flynn, and I don't mean to cut you off. We have to do this at the time, so for everyone at home, that's why. General Mike Flynn retweeted the interview with Tim Burchett. Here's the quote. I think we have the tweet. I believe Tim Burchett, he is not a man to mince words or to short sell the normal political BS, but be aware of a false flag alien operation by rogue elements inside the U.S. government. Dr. Greer, can you explain what he's talking about?
Yes, and this is exactly what Werner von Braun, who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, warned us on his deathbed. And he said that there would be an attempt to hoax a threat from outer space and kind of throw the world into sort of a totalitarian global dystopia. And that's been a plan that's been around since the mid-1950s. Okay. So General Flynn is 100% correct. And these sort of weird and scary things that you hear about associated with UFOs and UAPs is part of that psychological warfare operation.
Okay.
I think he's a warm person, actually, but he's all business. He's there's no games, there's no talking about how nice the weather is. Oh, let's look at the stars, let's look at the sun. No, he's all business, and that's I like that. I mean, that's a good thing. No games. I say it about him, and I could say it about some, not as complimentary, frankly, for the most part. But I say about him that. If you went to Hollywood and you looked for a leader of China to play a role in a movie,
Central casting.
he's central casting. You couldn't find a guy like him. Even his physical features. He's tall, very tall, and especially for this country because they tend to be a little bit shorter. You look at the military. I mean, the military today was incredible. That military marching was incredible.
He's mentioning
But
central
no, if you went to
casting
Hollywood,
again.
you wouldn't find a. You're not going to find a guy to play the role. He's good, and he's a. I mean, I'll get criticized. They always criticize me when I say good things about certain leaders, but.
Is he saying that
But
G is central
he's
casting?
a leader for China.
How fucking crazy would that be?
You also have some news coming out of the CIA that you'd like to share.
Yeah, so we were actually just notified that the CIA went in and took documents out of ODNI, multiple boxes pertaining to the JFK files as well as MKUltra. The reason why this is troubling is A, there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MKUltra files, the CIA famously has said that, all documents were released.
Okay, so it looks like there is a bit of an update to the story. So it looks like there was a report that DNI Gabbard was raided by the CIA, and now it looks like that claim is being retracted. So despite claims made by Anna Paulina Luna, DNI Gabbard's office was not raided by the CIA or anyone else. White House and DNI officials confirmed to me. So I don't know why that story popped up, but that's kind of strange from last night. But it looks like we have that update. Nvidia is now worth more than the GDP of every country in the world except the USA and China. Is that true? Doesn't sound true. Strait will open and we'll see gas prices go down, but I would also say that there's a price attached to a nuclear Iran.
We've taken extraordinary measures to keep gas prices lower than they are in some other parts of the world, and it will go down. Those straits will be open, and we will see those prices go down. And actually, I think you're going to see a dramatic reduction in oil over time because all of that pent-up oil that's being held hostage by Iran, once that reaches the marketplace, it'll have a very positive impact. But I would also say there's a price attached to a nuclear Iran. If Iran ever acquires a nuclear weapon, they will immediately. What would stop them from controlling the straits then? And then forget about it being a 3-month or a 6-month problem. It could be a permanent one. We've taken extraordinary measures to keep the Chinese.
Curzio says this man is about to change the dollar forever, but almost nobody's watching. He's moving a bill through Washington with a July 4th deadline. And when it passes, America's entire financial system gets rewired. I think this is the same guy right here. He says that stable coins are coming by July 4th. Most people have no idea what they are. It's a
the growth in
dollar.
stable coins and the potential here is just off the charts. And if the Clarity Act passes this year, if you can get the Clarity Act here passed by July 4th and signed into law, I don't think it's a question that you have massive rallies in everything across the crypto industry. So you got Bitcoin and Ethereum and the big dogs, and I think you'll get a nice rally out of everything. New highs for Bitcoin this year, absolutely. I could be wrong on that, but I'll go out on that limb and say if you pass the Clarity Act by July 4th, Bitcoin will hit over, I don't know what the recent high was, let's round to 125. It'll be over 125,000 by the end of 2026. The growth
side said they are not in favor of militarizing the Straits of Hormuz, and they're not in favor of a tolling system. And that's our position. We will never support an Iranian tolling system in the Straits of Hormuz, nor do we think they have a right to put mines in international waters. And so it's good that we have alliance, or at least agreement on that point. I think the fundamental question is, what are we going to do about it? We have a resolution now before the United Nations in which 100-something countries have co-signed. The Bahrainis are the sponsor, but we're strongly behind it and been pushing very hard on it. And it very clearly makes those points. So we hope the Chinese will vote for it. So right now we haven't gotten their commitment to vote for it yet at the United Nations. Maybe.
Let's just look at growth here. And I just had some stats I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to pull up, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2021, the stablecoin market peaked between 150 and 170 billion dollars during the bull market. And then you had collapse of banks SVB 2022, 2023 fell from around 170 to 130, and then it's really rebounded. As of now, it's over 300 billion, up significantly from 200 billion just a year ago. And it's 10 times the growth over 5 years. Okay. So the circulation, the usage, the adoption, that is absolutely incredible. It's growing 10 times, 300 billion plus in circulation out there. Let's just look at growth here. And I just had some stats I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to pull up, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2021, the stablecoin market peaked between 150 and 170 billion dollars during the bull market. And then you had collapse of banks, SVB 2022, 2023 fell from around 170 to 130, and then it's really rebounded. As of now, it's over 300 billion, up significantly from 200 billion just a year ago. And it's 10 times the growth over 5 years. Okay. So the circulation, the usage, the adoption, that is absolutely incredible. It's growing 10 times, 300 billion plus in circulation now.
Okay, just to add on to what Trump said, I think that's kind of interesting. He's calling out Xi's height, saying he's very tall for a Chinese man. Is he implying that Xi is not who he says he is? Is Xi a hybrid? I'm just kidding, but I don't know. I feel like there's some strange implications right here. Let's watch it again one more time.
President Xi, to me, as very tough, all business.
Yeah.
You're not describing the type of business that he normally used to do. Do you think that your relationship has evolved to the point where, he can go along with your spontaneity?
I think he's a warm person, actually, but he's all business. He's at the end. There's no games. There's no talking about how nice the weather is. Oh, let's look at the stars. Let's look at the sun. No, he's all business, and that's, I like that. I mean, that's a good thing. No games. I say it about him, and I could say it about some, not as complimentary, frankly, for the most part. But I say about him that if you went to Hollywood and you looked for a leader of China to play a role in a movie,
central casting.
He's central casting. You couldn't find a guy like him. Even his physical features, he's tall.
So what made Hannity want to say central casting? That's just kind of strange to me. Why did Hannity bring that up and then fill in the sentence for Trump? I don't know, that's just strange. So are we to believe that Xi is a CIA actor of some sorts? Is that what is being implied there? That's very strange.
Very tall. And especially for this country, because they tend to be a little bit shorter. You look at the military. I mean, the military today was incredible. That military marching was incredible. But no, if you went to Hollywood, you're not going to find a guy to play the role. He's good. And he's I'll get criticized. They always criticize me when I say good things about certain leaders, and this one. But he's a leader for China.
Trump, you're so damn awkward. Trump has put on some weight. Is that just me noticing that? The Pooh Bear always looks like Pooh Bear. He's got a little tummy on him. Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear. Boring. Hey, Anna.
Most of his money is from out of state, and it's from people who prioritize Israel over the American people. I'm kind of shocked to see that his challenger is rising in the polls. In fact, yesterday, for the first time, there was one poll that showed that he not only closed Massey's lead, but he has now, passed Massey in the polling. And so what this communicates to us is that our elections and our so-called democracy isn't real, right? That moneyed interests are the ones who control everything. They get to decide who they elect. And a lobby that is far more concerned with a foreign country has more power than ordinary Americans who live and care about this country, live in and care about this country. Mm-hmm. So we really, I am terrified that he's going to beat Massey in the primary, not only because I think it's unfair to Massey, who's a principled politician, a unicorn, really, when you think about it. I'm worried that this is going to disenfranchise voters to a point where they're just not going to participate in any election. And then what? And then what happens, right? So I just don't know how to solve this other than calling for a constitutional amendment that takes money out of politics.
Vance just exposed a single immigrant in Maine who stole $15 million from Medicaid over 5 years, claiming to provide interpreters services while providing zero.
Let me talk a little bit about just one person, because I think it highlights how bad the fraud problem has been in the state of Maine. We had an illegal immigrant in this community who said that she was providing services, interpretive services to other immigrants. Okay, so Medicaid reimburses people to provide interpretation services for people who don't speak English, which, by the way, people should be speaking English in the United States of America. I think that's common sense. But this woman, her name was Rakia Muhammad. And it turns out that Rakia Muhammad was not a particularly upstanding citizen, okay? So while she said that she was providing interpretation services, you know what she was actually doing? Providing zero services and collecting $15 million over a 5-year period that was going directly into her pocket. And that happened pretty much during the entirety of the Biden administration, and no one in the Biden administration thought to step in and stop this ridiculous fraud. Now, here I have 2 questions when it comes to Rakia Muhammad stealing $15 million from every single person in this room. Question number 1 is, why was this person in the United States of America to begin with? Call me crazy, but I think that when we welcome new immigrants to the United States of America, they should be people who enrich our country and bring some good skills into our country, not a person who's going to steal $15 million from the people in this room. But second of all, why on earth are we allowing a person to steal $15 million from all of you without the state government lifting a finger to stop it? Why did it take Washington coming in from the outside to ensure that this person who is defrauding you is going to go to prison? And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what she's going to happen. Convicted, guilty, and she's going to jail, which is where she belongs.
If you're not paying attention to Donald Trump and Xi Jinping's meeting tomorrow, what's about to happen with all the CEOs, including Apple, Larry Fink from BlackRock, Visa, MasterCard, Elon Musk from Tesla, all showing up to China? Well, you're probably missing out not only on history, but what will be the end of the globalist agenda. Here's what you need to know. This week, George Soros and Obama were in Canada, in Toronto, charting out how they can keep their globalist agenda. If you've been following me, you would have seen the video where Mark Carney came out and said that he wants to create a new world order leading with Canada. And according to all of them at the summit, the leader of this new opposition is going to be Neera Tanden, who served as the senior advisor and staff secretary for Joe Biden, and let's just say a globalist puppet. The Democratic Party is obviously failing. Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Gavin Newsom, Hakeem Jeffries, they probably won't be in politics much longer, or at least in a position of a leading Democratic candidate. Now, my guess is they peak somewhere between 2028 and 2030, and here's why. Laura Loomer, who is facing backlash after calling Barack Obama's visit to Canada a coup, is being used by mainstream media to push an agenda that, Obama just met with another foreign president. She's crazy for saying this. That's all on purpose. Now, I know this might be hard to see, but trust me, as we get closer to midterms, it won't be. All Donald Trump wants is what's best for America. Free, fair trade deals. Media doing what they always do, saying Trump is going to meet with Xi amid record low voter popularity because of gas prices spiking due to the Iran war. Again, ask yourself, why hasn't Donald Trump just taken out all of Iran's infrastructure? Why has he instead created a blockade and taken control of international waters with the Strait of Hormuz? Why is he going to China right now rather than 2 months ago after calling President Vladimir Putin smart and savvy? I personally believe the answer is in the energy. I believe we're about to witness some of the biggest trade deal shifts we've ever seen since post-World War II. My personal opinion is that this Iran war clearly ends before midterms. Fed worse, a new Fed chair comes in and we actually start seeing interest rates cut. We will probably witness a multi-trillion-dollar trade deal with China. Russia Russia will probably end the war with Ukraine. With factories being built in the United States, job growth is going to be steady, wage growth is going to start increasing, of course, gas prices and everything will drop. But the Supreme Court and everything that I mentioned, man, the Democrats are not looking good for midterms. The battle's not over. But from the perspective I'm sitting at, the reason why Obama, Soros, and all these leaders are meeting in Canada for this new world order in quotation points, or in quotation marks, isn't because they don't support AOC or Bernie Sanders or Chuck Schumer or any of these Democrats. They understand that the far left liberal agenda that's been embedded into current democratic systems is over, and it's a cycle. So they're planning on, in my opinion, probably losing midterms in 2026. They're probably going to look to refocus new leaders in 2028. But if that's AOC, I don't think they have a chance, honestly, at the presidency, which means they have to start now by establishing new figures. You're probably going to see new political candidates starting to pop up that are completely different, that are more common sense driven, but still fundamentally socialist, but still backed by Soros and this Obama Foundation. No matter what, this midterm election is more important than ever. And if you're not voting Republican, you're literally voting for the downfall of the American economy, which is why.
I don't really agree with that. I actually probably recommend people vote independent over anything else if possible. And I know that sounds unpopular, but I just think that we should be voting with our conscience, and that's where I always am. And if that goes against the team, then, sometimes the team has to lose out because they didn't want to keep their original promises. I mean, you have to keep your promises to keep your base, and they lost a lot of their base by going against their promises. So, naturally, that just makes me want to vote independent. I'm not jumping to the other side. I'm not voting Democrat. I am voting with my conscience. I'm going to vote independent. And if I can't vote independent, I probably won't vote. That's just me. I'm not telling people what to do. You do whatever you think is best. If I'm doing something wrong, then, at least I'll go down in the grave feeling good about myself for voting in the right place. But at the same time, I just don't think that Democrats are as bad as they were kind of made out to be. Obviously, there's their crazy bunch of people, but there are more sane types, more center lane types. They're not all transgender, they're not all gay, they're not all, a lot of them were disaffected themselves, and that's why they jumped over to MAGA. But then once MAGA was disaffected, that's where people just kind of scratched their head and they're like, all right, well, I'm not voting Democrat. I'm not voting Republican now, so naturally, there just should be a third option. We shouldn't be tied down to two parties. We should mature ourselves, and if this is the election to mature ourselves, so be it. And also, if Democrats win this particular, and I'm not arguing in favor of Democrats right now. Whenever I say this, so just making things clear. If Democrats win in the midterms, let's just play a hypothetical. What they're going to do is block many things within, what Republicans are trying to do. And let's just say that Trump keeps the same demeanor of working against his base and working against things that we want, then slowing that whole process down is actually kind of a good thing. I know I think that's Nick Fuentes' argument when it comes to slowing down, I guess, this whole, let's just say, like the data center thing. Like, it's happening so fast all across the country. It just makes you like, all right, well, naturally, we have to put up a resistance against that, or just all of a sudden we're having people's land being taken up everywhere. I think there was some chick that I played last night in Georgia where her land was going to be taken. What were they calling it? Eminent domain, I think it was what it was called. So we have to push back against that. And if Trump is the person helping push that agenda, then naturally, I'm not saying vote Democrat. I'm just saying that even if you were to vote independent, if that were to hurt Republicans and help Democrats, but also too, like, there might be like local elections that don't even get all that many votes. And if you were to vote, let's just say, for that one independent person, we might have a little bit of a different, or you might have a different turnout of how things look in your own town. I think more people are voting now than ever, but at the same time, there used to be those elections where you would only have like a few votes. Sometimes only like 2 or 3 people would vote, and then that person would win just because of those votes. But yeah, either way. And I'm not saying to not vote Republican either, like if you want to vote Republican, like feel free to. There's still going to be good candidates that are Republican that are probably not so pro-Trump at this point either. So pay in mind towards that. You can vote with your values towards a Republican if they have, or even, promote independent values. Just hopefully that they're not bought by the actual party. They're not ruled by that party. That's what I worry about with the larger party system. Republicans versus Democrat. They have these massive donors, and that just influences everything, and it's just controlled that way. I mean, you can kind of, I guess it's hard to prove, but it's just like one of those things that you can kind of just see, where's the money at? And I mean, like, Thomas Massie is the perfect example. The Republican Party threw all this money behind this one guy that nobody really even knew, and he's winning now. Thomas Massie should be winning just from his notoriety and how much he's in, or at least on X's headlines and stuff like that. I mean, at least Massie has performed well there. He can't get on TV, though, and that's where a lot of the conservative voter base is. See, Massie is more of an independent, in my opinion. And see, that's where we need people like Massie, where, let's just say, he loses the primary here soon. He can then become an independent and then, stay in the race and possibly win the vote with 10 times less funding than the other guy. But we'll just have to see. But it's also risky with independent. Sometimes they play games and they'll, kind of be like shoved out through the legal system, or like they can't be put on in certain districts because they didn't have a certain amount of signatures within a certain amount of time. Like, it's really, really fucked up rules, if you ask me, for independence. But, yeah, it is what it is. Either way, moving on. We went to Iraq for artifacts, I said. Also, from the general... literally... Oops. 1 second. I want to come back to that in a second. Candace Owens releases a leaked White House military office email directing officials to amplify Erica Kirk's "I Want to Go Home" video clip following President Trump's third assassination attempt. So it looks like they're trying to boost that whole scene where she's crying for some reason. Why would they boost that perspective to the people, I wonder?
Quite literally been lied to about everything. They have created this Truman Show type simulation to keep the general public distracted from the truth, distracted from the biblical events that are actually happening in our world. And one of these events is actually the war in Iraq. Everybody meet Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was an ancient Sumerian king who ruled in what we now know is modern-day Iraq. And he was a 17 to 20 foot giant. He was a demigod, which means he was half human and half God. Now, if you know your Bible, and if you followed my stories before on ancient Egyptian history and how we've been lied to, you know that these giants actually existed, and they were demonic human hybrids that ruled and ravaged the earth. Now, Gilgamesh was a barbaric king. He built up and ruled over the city of Uruk, which is, again, modern-day Iraq. Now, you and I were taught that this is all just mythology, just like the ancient Egyptian half-animal, half-human gods that we read about. But when you read the Bible, you understand that this all, in fact, actually happened. So what does he have to do with the war in Iraq? This brings us to 2003, when German archaeologist Jörg Fassbinder was digging in modern-day Iraq, and he thought he found the city of Uruk.
Gilgamesh was simply a figment of myth. That was until Jörg Fassbinder and his team of archaeologists, using modern technology to look deep into the ground, discovered an entire ancient city beneath the desert. Astonishingly laid out just as the city of Uruk, over which Gilgamesh had purportedly reigned, was described in the epic. There were houses and gardens and fields alongside an incredibly sophisticated system of canals, leading archaeologists to describe the site as Venice in the desert. More importantly, on the outskirts of the ancient city was what appeared to be a burial site, which archaeologists believed to be the tomb of the ancient king.
So Jörg goes to the authorities, tells them he thinks that he found the city of Uruk and possibly the tomb of Gilgamesh, and 5 months later, we invade Iraq. Now here's where it gets crazy, because not only did we invade Iraq immediately after his findings, our military builds a base directly over the the ruins. Anyway, it's not a secret that the USA established a base in the old Babylonian city, destroyed some historical artifacts, and also took with them many of the artifacts. They constructed buildings and helicopter landing pads in the ancient city. It's not a secret that they were searching for something very important.
There were no weapons of mass destruction. And something's wrong. It's a whole world of deceit. We're going to Iraq to get artifacts, not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said.
But which artifacts?
I don't know. They just said artifacts. There were things in Iraq that were sold that we had to go get. Bush wanted those artifacts. It was very important.
Did we get them? And if so, where did they go?
We got them. They said they got everything they needed from that country.
Where is it?
I don't know. We have it.
Saddam Hussein was building a massive reconstruction of Babylon near the ancient city. Was he trying to hide something huge? Is that why the U.S. decided to invade Iraq so fast and acquire the ancient relic? Everything in our world is biblical. Everything. All of the wars that are fought are biblical. It goes back to the Bible. It goes back to the demonic forces that are still alive today, the evidence of the demonic forces that are all around our world that they don't want you and I to know about. If you go on the Department of State's website and type in Gilgamesh, you are actually brought to the formal request for the ancient tomb of Gilgamesh. They were requesting his body from the burial site. So when we invaded Iraq, we went in and just took it all. And we actually had to return it. There's even an email from WikiLeaks that says requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Our entire world is biblical. All over our world is evidence of the Bible, evidence of the giants, evidence of the Nephilim, evidence of all these ancient civilizations that are written about in the Bible. But unfortunately, our world is controlled by Satan. Our government is ran by Satan. So what does our government do? It comes in and it covers it up.
But I've heard that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is coming to intervene in my campaign. Look, dogs don't bark at parked cars. And the fact that you got cabinet secretaries that may be coming to my district to campaign against me during a war, the Secretary of War during a war, shows how serious this is to the global elites that I lose. And that's why it's so serious that I do win. If there's going to be any hope in Washington, D.C., if there's going to be any voice, anybody that ever challenges the narrative, whether it's on war or whether it's on immunity for companies, whether they're data centers or whether they're pesticide manufacturers. Look, there's all kinds of cronies that, not just the foreign influence cronies, but corporate cronies on the meat packing industry. And you'll see occasional fake fights where Republicans may engage in a fake fight, and then I show it's all fake. And that's why they hate me for breathing air in the swamp.
Here's Chud the Builder explaining exactly what happened to him earlier today.
I walked up to him because they were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said, "You start saying all that chimp out shit to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He was still wailing on me.
Where's your weapon at?
They have everything.
I was gonna have Chud the Builder on at 4 p.m. If you don't know who Chud the Builder is, we've had him on before, and he went viral several times for basically filming himself interacting with African American people, and well, he's made a career out of it. And as of about an hour before the show started, Chud the Builder shot a man who attacked him outside of a courthouse in Clarksville and accidentally grazed himself in the process. Before it escalated, he asked the man if he was going to chimp out, and the man then walked up and sucker punched him. It's unclear if the man survived, and we actually have more information about this. We'll bring you the latest and bring you whatever develops in this. And I just sent him a text and said, "Hey, man, I understand if our interview's off at 4 today, but if you did want to come on, be a pretty good story, I think. I think people want to hear about exactly what happened." And I don't know, I'm a bit torn between my journalistic instincts. Okay, it looks like somebody's got the video. If you don't grab that video, I would like to see it. So I'm sort of torn between I want this interview. I want to get the interview and, talk to him about it. At the same time, I'm like, you probably shouldn't be talking to anybody. So I don't even know if we'll have him on, because obviously there's a lot of people out to get him in multiple ways. And I imagine, I don't know where exactly this happened. I guess somewhere in Tennessee. You could very well have a overambitious DA that wants to make his name out of this and wants to send Chud to jail for a long time. So I think for his safety, maybe we'll just call off the interview either way, even if he wants to come on. I don't know if that's the best idea. As you know, everything you say can and will be used against you. So maybe we need to just make sure he's not going to be charged with something before he comes on and tells us the story. This whole thing's been crazy. And to be honest with you, part of why I wanted to get him on is I was like, dude, you're going to get shot. Like, I'm not sure how much longer this can go on, because he would just go out and walk around and people would come up to him and threaten him. And I mean, we got a lot of videos to get to about like the hatred that he inspires and why he's doing what he's doing. I'd love for him to talk for himself, but like I said, maybe he might have to talk to a lawyer or something before he comes on, just so he can know what he can and can't talk about. So I really wanted to get him on because I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. And in part, it kind of proves that what he's doing, you know, it's like, are we not allowed? Are we not capable of like hearing words we don't like? And the reason I think this is actually an important thing to talk about, it's not just like, oh, he's a rabble rouser, he just goes and, you know, tries to get people angry and then films their reaction. You have example after example after example these days, but I can think of one in particular where a man was stabbed in San Francisco, I believe, by a homeless person. After being stabbed.
Also, we used to have asylums where people with PTSD and all kinds of weird mental problems would stay. Like, we didn't have to, like, deal with them out on the street. I don't know. The world's getting crazy, y'all.
Fox News alert, we have all China's friends in a headlock. Their favorite gas stations, Iran and Venezuela, are offline. Now Xi's sitting down with Trump, and he says he wants to fill up the tank.
China's support of Iran. How big a discussion was that today?
We discussed it. I mean, when you say support, they're not fighting a war with us or anything.
No.
He said he's not going to give military equipment. That's a big statement. He said that today. That's a big statement. He said that strongly. But at the same time, he said, you know, they buy a lot of their oil there. They'd like to keep doing that. He'd like to see Hormuz Strait open.
China wants oil, chips, and lower tariffs. So we have a lot of leverage. And Xi said, well, how can I help?
President Xi would like to see a deal made. He would like to see a deal made. And he did offer. He said, if I can be of any help at all, I would like to be of help. Because,
he did say that.
Yeah, he did say that. And look, anybody that buys that much oil has obviously got some kind of a relationship with him. But he said, I would love to be of help. If I can be of any help whatsoever, he'd like to see the Hormuz Strait open. He said, if I can be of any help whatsoever, I would like to help.
We're watching a diplomatic dance. Neither guy can look needy.
He didn't ask him for anything. We're not asking for China's help, or we don't need their help. Our position is very clear. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Back at home, the media still thinks the gay Ayatollah is winning. The New York Times, Washington Post say Iran still has most of its missiles. Now, these could be deep state leaks, worst case scenario, trying to get Trump back in the war for money and regime change. But our military's top brass said today it's not accurate. We destroyed Iran in record time.
The numbers that I've seen in open source are not accurate. I think what also is not taken into consideration is more than just the numbers. It's the command and control that's been shattered. In less than 40 days, CENTCOM forces achieved our military objectives. Most notably, we degraded Iran's ability to project power outside its borders and threaten the region and threaten our interests.
They mostly have drones left, and we figured out how to shoot them down for cheap.
So those days of using high-value defenses to shoot down cheap targets are behind us. Quite the contrary. What we have been doing lately is using our own low-cost one-way attack drones, attacking Iran, making them use higher-end, more expensive weapons.
The regime's getting desperate. Kuwait says they arrested 4 guard guys who tried to sneak into their country, and they're still causing trouble in the Strait. The Brits said one of their ships was seized, and an Indian vessel carrying goats reportedly sank after getting hit with a drone. But traffic's actually up. Cargo ships are turning off their radar to sail through dark. At least 18 ships made it out this week. Some from Japan, some from India, and our Wallace deal's holding strong. 70 cargo ships were turned around. 90% of Iran's sea mines destroyed. And their mosquitoes, they're getting swatted.
Capability have been significantly degraded. If I just use my own professional experience, in 100 transits through the Strait of Hormuz, you would typically see 20 to 40 fast boats, and lately we've seen 2 or 3.
They went from swarming the Strait to hiding in the shadows. Now the Iranians are choking on their own oil.
Clark Island. We've seen that there have been no loadings in the past 3 days. We believe their storage is full. None of the ships are getting out. None are coming in. So they're not able to store oil on the water. So they're going to start shutting down their production. I think that they are on their last legs, and the blockade, President Trump's blockade, has been a resounding success.
Cuba could be next. They just said they ran out of oil. The country's experiencing blackouts. And today, our CIA director's in Havana holding a secret meeting. He told them we're going to be open to working together, but they need to change.
I'm talking about Professor Zhang, or however you say his name. Not this guy. Not Walters.
If Venezuela can get it together, so can Cuba.
Waters.
Just remember, Havana's just a short flight from Palm Beach.
My God, okay? It's a Stargate.
Oh my God, okay.
These data centers, OpenAI, AI, it's designed to summon demons and aliens from the other dimensions. Okay, keep on going.
By the way, I don't know. I don't believe in this, honestly. It's just more or less, I think it's funny. It's coming from this Professor Zhang guy. A lot of people have been taking him very seriously for his political opinions and everything else. I've seen his more religious takes online before, which I don't really agree with, but at the same time, I think he's very amusing. I think he's good TV. So here's Professor, which he's not even a professor, by the way, so I'm not going to call him that. He's high school teacher Zhang Jiaquin, or however the fuck you say it.
OpenAI executive said the portals currently exist in the United States and China.
I told you guys, China and the United States are working together on this, okay? Keep on going.
And Sam has added one in the Middle East. He went on, I think it's just like widely important to get how scary that should be. It's the most reckless things that has been done.
Okay, this is it, okay? This is not a science project, guys. It's an occult project. It's designed to bring aliens, demons, into this world. And then you're like, this makes no sense. Actually, it does make sense, okay? Let me tell you how this works. All right, so what's going on here? These people are occultists. They understand the fundamental nature of reality. They understand that the source of reality is human consciousness. So if you're able to control human consciousness, you become God itself. Okay? So I'll go to the cave. Plato. Okay, so we talked about this before, but I'll remind you. You have 1 million people who are chained in a line. They are forced to look forward at a wall. Okay? A wall. And they only look at the wall, they can't turn their heads because their necks are shackled. Behind them is a great fire. And behind them are the elite. Okay? Who they are, we don't know. And what they like to do is they like to take puppets, okay? And then reflect these puppets onto the wall, projecting from the fire. So what everyone sees in front of them are shadows.
Oh, we're talking about Plato's cave?
Now, these shadows are nothing. They don't exist. They don't matter.
Why are we talking about Plato's
because
cave?
we have imagination, we have intuition, we are conscious. We see these shadows on the wall and we turn them into a reality, okay? We believe that this is reality itself. And so we start to give it names. We create language, we create religion, we create schools to teach children to believe in these shadows. Right? So the important idea here is that the true wealth in society is consciousness, okay? The only thing that exists really in this world is consciousness, nothing else. Power is the capacity to direct people's consciousness to create reality itself. Right? Now, there are different ways in which you can create reality. The first way, which is very common today, is called money.
Okay, I'm bored now. Basically, it just analogizes that we're stuck in an illusion and that reality is on the outside, not, you know, stuck inside, basically. Indoors, or I don't know, it's not just indoors, but it's kind of like being stuck in your own mind, like there's more of a world beyond. I don't know. I just get tired of hearing it all the time. I've heard Plato's cave analogy literally for, I don't know, since maybe middle school, high school, probably middle school, actually. All right, moving on.
He's not coming in with guns. He's not coming in with rifles. They're not coming in shooting. You know, somebody said he's been very good.
So you go.
They get a lot of their oil, 40% of their oil from that location. So what has happened, and one thing I think that we're going to make a deal on, they've agreed they want to buy oil from the United States. They're going to go to Texas. We're going to start sending Chinese ships to Texas and to Louisiana and to Alaska. And I think that was another thing that was agreed to. That's a big thing.
What about liquefied natural gas?
It's not that much longer.
Gas too?
Yeah, everything. Energy.
Energy.
That's the one thing. They really need energy. That's the one thing. They have an insatiable appetite for energy, and we have unlimited energy. You know, he's not coming in with guns. He's not coming in with rifles. They're not coming in shooting. You know, somebody said he
Go out with your superior.
Yes.
You fly out. You land. What happens? Can you describe this whole process?
It took us the 13 or 15 miles.
So, just to give you a little bit of context here, this is I presume, a dead CIA agent that was declassifying certain information because he was going to die soon. He is alleging that he made contact with a gray, a literal alien gray, like, you know, the aliens that we're all kind of familiar with the big, bulbous, kind of black eyes and small mouth and small nose holes.
South to S4 had like different garage door openings.
Okay.
And in these garage door openings, they had like different saucer crafts. The very first one had the Roswell craft in. It was kind of crashed up, but apparently every alien that was in it died except for a couple. The Roswell craft was really strange because it looked like real heavy aluminum foil. We could rock next to it, and you could rock it. The whole thing probably weighed 150, 300 pounds.
Could they tell what the source of power was of this craft?
Yeah, it was like a reverse gravitational thing of some kind. In fact, later on, I got the mathematical code for reversing gravity in a 3x5 card. I guess there are different types of grays and so on.
How did you see that evidence?
Well, at the later on at S4, we viewed the autopsy film, and then the colonel said, "What we've got in here is we're interviewing a gray alien."
All right, right there. How did you feel at that moment?
Well, I thought, boy, we had no idea we were going to see the real thing. All we saw was film.
You had to have a little bit of heart racing at that moment.
My boss was able to go in and had a partial interview with him.
So what did this gray alien look like? Could you describe him a little bit?
This one looked a little bit oriental.
If it looked almost human, what about this didn't look human?
No, it didn't look human as far as the skin tone and basically the shape of it and the size. Brain was kind of a little bit bigger. And some of the nose was very, very small. And the ears were just like holes. Mouth was very small.
Now, why were they bringing you out here at all, anyway, to see an alien? What was the point?
To go back and tell the president they actually had one. Basically, we were kind of done, went back to Area 51.
Did you go directly to Washington after this?
We flew back to the commuter plane back to the air base and then took President Eisenhower's Lockheed Electra back to Washington. Eisenhower and Nixon were there, and also Hoover was there. So he asked us what was going on, and we told him about the alien and the whole situation, black projects and so on, and he was just totally shocked. He appeared for the first time to be worried, you know, like he was worried.
We guess disclosure is here, guys. I guess if you want to believe it, it'd kind of be cool if we had, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, man. I kind of feel weird if I ask for, like, aliens to pop up in the sky to, like, prove it that way. Because then, like, you never know, like, the military might do something weird. We might get what we ask for. Not even the way that we want it. Stu Peters says, if we already have operating and functional AI, why the sudden need to build multiple 400,000-acre data centers all across the country? We need to build these data centers so you can use AI. We already use AI. This is literally my same argument from, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. I remember saying this. I don't know if I said it on my channel, but I know I definitely said it to other people. Sanders and AOC introduced a bill to pause all AI data center construction. 300 plus local bills filed, half of planned 2026 data centers facing delays or cancellation. Each one brings billions to local economies. We also covered on the channel how there was a few data centers in New Jersey that were actually struck down just because the community came together and said they didn't want them. So if you don't want them in your county or in your town, maybe you should organize people so that they can vote against it or just show your disdain. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes you just showing up and saying you don't want it is enough for your representative, and then they vote against it and blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. An Argentinian TV show accidentally invited a urologist instead of a
Un especialista. Tenemos un especialista.
This is kind of funny. I'm a urologist, not a ufologist. It sounds similar, but it's not the same. To be honest, it sounds close enough to me. What is that, like a urine doctor or something? I don't even know what a urologist is. I'm kind of scared to ask. What is a urologist? What is a urologist? Yeah, it's for your kidneys, urinary tract infections. Okay, yeah. I didn't even know they had a profession for that. Well, if anybody was curious, now you know. I don't know if you wanted to know that, but now we all know. Despite not wanting to know. Divers doing a routine maintenance check at Converse Reservoir Dam in Malibu, Alabama, just found an underwater IED. Apparently, a grenade-type bomb was sitting submerged at the bottom of a dam that holds an entire city's drinking water. Yeah, we should probably do lots of different searches for bombs like this in our area. Lots of crazies out there.
A grenade-type explosive device was found underwater at Big Creek Lake, the primary drinking water supply for the Mobile area. The Mobile area water and sewer system, MAWS, saying Divers found this improvised explosive device while surveying the lake's dam for routine repairs. A multi-agency bomb squad team, including the FBI, Mobile County Sheriff's Office, and state law enforcement, retrieved and safely destroyed it, as you just saw. Moz says the drinking water supply was not affected. Big Creek Lake is federally designated critical infrastructure, and Homeland Security has been notified. We're trying to find out where the IED came from, if it's been there for some time, or if investigators think it was placed there. A grenade type.
Ainsley, well, that's what you're hearing from Sean?
Yeah, so I talked to Sean this morning because it's easy. They're 12 hours ahead. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning here. It's 6 p.m. there. So they're getting ready for the state dinner. You see Dina Powell there on the left. You see Marco Rubio. We saw Scott Bessent. So I talked to Sean this morning, and he just finished interviewing President Trump, and that's going to air fully on his show tonight. But I said, what were the takeaways? And he said that President Xi will help with Iran. He said, quote, whatever Trump needs. Committed to buy U.S. soybeans, more oil, LNG, which is the liquefied natural gas, and other energy. He agreed to buy 200 jets of the 737 MAX jets from Boeing. He said 200. Originally, it was 500. He surprised Xi, and he invited the president of China to go and meet with all of our U.S. CEOs, Lauren.
Success, right, Ainsley? Well, that's what you're hearing from Sean?
Yeah, so I talked to Sean this morning because it's easy. They're 12 hours ahead. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning here. It's 6 p.m. there. So they're getting ready for the state dinner. You see Dina Powell.
Okay.
Same woman.
Start this game.
Quote, her implication of Trump makes little sense since his friendship with Epstein began later in that decade. Cherry on top, she faced criminal charges for fraud, theft, and exploitation of an elderly person. Okay, same woman. Quote, her implication of Trump makes little sense since his friendship with Epstein began later in that decade. Cherry on top, she faced criminal charges for fraud, theft, and exploitation of an elderly person. Okay, same woman.
Wow. I just heard what he said at the end.
And she asked me a question. She's talked about China, and this and that they steal this and they steal that. And I said, yeah, we do it to them too. You know, they spy on us. I said, we spy on them too, I guess. So some people thought that was cute. Other people said, you don't have to say that. I said, I sort of do. No, we do things and they do things, and that's the way it is. Now, with that being said, I spoke to him very strongly about that, and I'd like to see it taken care of. But they've been doing that for 50 years. You know.
It's their way of life. Just let them do it.
Fox News alert, Beijing is drenched in pageantry for the Trump trip. He's the first president in 50 years to walk through the Temple of Heaven. Ford was the last one in. The Confucian Temple, built in the 1400s during the Ming Dynasty. Only the emperor was allowed to step inside. It's where he prayed for good weather. Trump, a Protestant, went inside and made it rain. More on that later. First, the party started at China's Great Hall, right across the street from Tiananmen Square. Trump wasn't in a tank, he was in the Beast, and pulled up to shake hands with Xi. And it was a long shake, 15 seconds. Some friendly patting. Both men stood still. No one leaned in. Who won? Some call it a draw, but Xi did release first. And then Trump hit him with a little pat in the back. Body language experts say that was a power move. The fashion police noticed that POTUS rocked a red tie, which experts say aligned visually with the dominant ceremonial palette of China. Xi wore a purple tie to evoke the symbolism of the purple forbidden city, the center of Chinese power. Didn't see a lot of hostility. Diplomats on the ground actually say there was a lot of chemistry. Xi, who tends to be more reserved in public, put on a show. The Chinese honor guard played the Star-Spangled Banner, but the president was most impressed by this.
I think I was particularly impressed by those children. They were happy. They were beautiful. The military is obvious. It couldn't be better, but those children were amazing.
People say the ceremony was more jovial, conversational, and personally interactive than Trump's last visit in 2017. A lot more smiles this time, but body language experts say Trump showed gravitas and stayed focused. Quote, I think that Trump feels the power. Feels like this is a formidable meeting. He is not intimidated by Xi at all. He's showing kind of like a peacock or a lion. He's showing his power. Trump brought that energy into his meeting. The two men spoke for 2 hours and 15 minutes, longer than expected.
How are you, Pop, sir? Great place. Incredible. China's beautiful.
Xi said some beautiful words too.
Both China and the United States stand to gain from cooperation and lose from confrontation. Our two countries should be partners rather than rivals.
There was a little bit of a skirmish, though, not between Xi and Trump, but between Secret Service and the Chinese police. They say it was a Chinese version of a Mexican standoff, a Mexican standoff.
There have been some heated and physical clashes between the Secret Service and the Chinese police on basically at the back doors of these events, including one very physical standoff where a Secret Service officer was being prevented from taking his weapon in as part of the protective detail. But things have all been ironed out, and as far as we know, the schedule has not been changed because of that.
But they patched it up by dinner time. Xi even had his musicians play an instrumental version of the YMCA, although there was no dancing. Not that kind of party. And the food? Guests started off with lobster and tomato soup, followed by a pan-fried pork bun, or better known in Chinese as a shengjianbao. Entrees, a choice of crispy beef ribs, a suckling Beijing roast duck, or a slow-cooked salmon and mustard sauce. For dessert, a trumpet shell-shaped pastry. Get it? And tiramisu, which we're pretty sure is Italian. Here's the president's toast.
Tonight it is my honor to extend an invitation to you, Madam Peng, to visit us at the White House this September 24th, and we look forward to it. And I'd now like to raise a glass and propose a toast to the rich and enduring ties between the American and Chinese people. It's a very special relationship, and I want to thank you again. This has been an amazing period of time. Thank you, President Xi.
Out of respect, the president, who doesn't drink, imagine if he did, even took a sip of champagne. Trump, though, had his glass served by an American waiter. Both sides made sure the other side didn't get their fingerprints or DNA. All custom. The White House is taking all the necessary protocols. They're all using burner phones this week. But despite everything, Trump says our two nations have more things in common than not.
As allies in World War II, President Franklin Roosevelt's mentions of the brave people of China, that's what they were, drew loud cheers in his speeches in the United States, and everybody loved what he had to say. Just as many Chinese now love basketball and blue jeans. Chinese restaurants in America today outnumber the 5 largest fast food chains in the United States, all combined. That's a pretty big statement.
There's one thing that both men understand very well. Money.
The people of China and the United States are both great peoples. Achieving the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation and making America great again can go hand in hand. We can help each other succeed and advance the well-being of the whole world.
Xi told Trump China's open for business, even wider than before. We hope that's true because that's music to the president's ears.
So in China, we had the greatest CEOs in the whole world. We had about 30 of them, and they were pitching President Xi on doing business in China. I think they were successful.
Musk was there, even brought his son X. Elon says X is learning Mandarin. Jesse Jr. is learning Spanish. And the Doge Master was kind of a celebrity. Everyone lining up to take pictures with the world's richest man, even Apple's Tim Cook. The feeling among the business community, upbeat. NVIDIA's CEO, a.k.a. the chip guy, he was there, and he was pumped.
President Trump and President Xi have a wonderful relationship, and we have great hopes that we will build upon their great relationship and improve the relationship of our two nations.
NVIDIA's coming home with a pretty big deal. The White House just gave them the green light to sell their AI chips to China, but remember, not the best ones. They'll still be happy. Besson says he's going to make China play by the rules so that
I think
we
they're
don't
like
get
the
slaughtered by
richest
robots.
company in the world right now.
The undisputed leader in the world here. We have the greatest AI companies. We're actually going to be discussing the AI guardrails with the Chinese.
They have like the 3rd GDP in the world, if that's what that post was saying earlier. I don't know if that's true, though. Isn't this a video? Oh, I thought it was a video. It's just a meme. I thought it was a video. What the hell, man? Well, 26 years later, you can see the difference of how much things cost. Is it really $9 for coffee? Some places, I don't pay that much. If y'all are paying $9 for coffee, get away from that coffee place. If it's Starbucks, I mean, that's not even coffee. That's like pretty much all sugar. All right, let's play this game. I'm done with this. I'm done with the news. Done with this crap. Done with this crap. Mainstream media reports that Ben Shapiro's media empire is in complete collapse. That's good news. There's some good news here and there. All right. Enough chit chat. Let's get into it. See how the game plays. Man, this looks like one of those Chippendale arcade games. That's what it looks like right now. Is that what I'm about to play? That better not be what I'm about to play. This better be a very high quality game. It just better look low quality. That's my quote. Come here! Where are you? Always unplugging my controller. I don't want playing anything without me. I won't play in hard mode, even though I never played the game. Let's just see how hard it is first, and then if I get bored.
You give us 3 minutes, and we give you the world. Good evening. I'm Casey Wong. A military submarine that went missing over 3 years ago has suddenly reappeared in the Baltic Sea. Confused seamen mistakenly opened fire on the last Lapland reservation, killing 12. Thankfully, our homesick sailors are back on U.S. soil. Welcome back, boys. In local news, a new crime wave that is sweeping Detroit has already claimed the lives of 21 police officers. Here's a statement from the head of OCP, Omni Consumer Products, that's funding and running the Detroit Police Department.
Old Detroit has a cancer, and that cancer is crime. It must be cut out, and OCP holds the scalpel.
According to our sources, the attacks were aimed at catching the attention of a man whose identity remains unknown. This dangerous new guy in town seems to have his eye on doing business in old Detroit.
Your filthy hands off me. Shut
I'm sorry. There seems to be a
disturbance? I'm a big fan. Now move. Don't adjust your television sets. Your regularly scheduled program will be back shortly. Now, this message goes out to the new guy in town. It seems that you're looking to spend some money in this great city of ours. I'm here to tell you that the Torchheads are open for business. You may have heard of us as the #1 supplier of nuke in old Detroit. The most potent, addictive drug available in front of every convenience store, school, or library near you. But that's not all we're capable of. Let's get you up here. We'll get Officer Howard to illustrate the point. You see, Officer Howard made a drug bust that cost us a lot of money. We want to reward this dutiful officer with a performance bonus. A lifetime supply of nuke. Oh man, you're gonna have the time of your life. There you go. Enjoy. New guy. Us Torchheads are more than capable of doing whatever you need done in our city. So what is it, huh? Arson, smuggling, drug dealing, good old-fashioned murder. We do it all. You've got the money, we've got the power. So let's talk.
Well, this is a long-ass fucking intro. Let's go. Today. Please? Alright, I'll calm down. Alright, this looks a lot better. That's a ton of shit. He ain't got no toes. Hell yeah! RoboCop!
Good to see you, Murphy.
We're just RoboCop, no.
Lieutenant's at the main entrance.
Know
to the
how I
TV
became
station.
RoboCop, just we're RoboCop. Alright. Can I have a bullpup? I want a bullpup. You got 2 of them? No? Alright. Drop them.
The ground's shaking.
It's so good!
Judgment Day's here!
I'm in the 80s!
We're here for the show. Go,
Yeah, baby. Sick.
They came out of the trucks and they just started shooting.
I wouldn't bother. I already ran the plates.
You should know by now when it comes. If it keeps on like this, we're gonna run short of bioweapons. I'm gonna give you 10 milligrams of diazepam to make you comfortable.
Cutscene.
We can't wait any longer. Those trigger-happy maniacs have a ton of hostages. But sir... Roger that. Over and out.
What is the situation?
Goddamn OCP tells us to stand down till SWAT arrives. That's our situation.
Looks like I'm on the way out.
Not so fast, buddy. Who do you think is gonna clean up this place? I'm not letting you off that easily.
You sound just like my wife.
If that's the case, let's get you patched up.
It's like you're still gonna make me
You
clean
wouldn't
with
want to
this
get on the
wound.
bad side. Press here. Medic! There you are, partner.
Lewis.
The hell is going on up there?
Sorry, dude! The police want us to release the hostages! So no hard feelings!
Hey, you can't go in yet. We need to wait for the reinforcements.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I knew you'd say something like that.
We need to find another way. It is too dangerous to cross.
For me. But you can take the heat. Go, I'll figure something out. Besides, you could do with a head start. Go on.
Thought I could run faster.
I've got a signet ring. How
Looks
much
pretty good.
did you get for it?
Is it gold?
It was taken off someone famous. Just look at him. He looks kind of familiar.
Guys! We've got company. Anyone expecting a silver freak?
Drop it, scum.
Yeah, scum. Hold up. There's no music in this game. I gotta get some music going. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought it had its own music. We can't name this episode Robo Bebop without some bebop. There it is. It's like, is it gonna start? So slow. Definitely feels like a robot.
worried about the weight limit?
Lewis, you're here.
We need to get these elevators back online. The service box is in the basement.
Let me.
I doubt you had time between all the heroics, but I got a key card from the janitor. It's good to do some real street work from time to time, you know? After you. They sabotaged the elevators and staircase too. Obviously, they won't be disturbed.
That graffiti is fresh.
I bet some of those idiots are still here.
Watch out! He's coming!
What a warm welcome, don't you think?
My health go up? Oh, hell. People love it. Still here, Danger Mouse? You don't gotta answer if you don't want to. It's okay. Everybody didn't like that song, huh? Everybody left because that song? Is that what it was? Sometimes it's the song. Sometimes a song will make people leave. I'm sorry if one song will make you leave. What is that? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay. I don't know what that is, but that sounds good enough to go with. How about we do some Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, lady?
I am detecting a short circuit. We need to isolate the cables.
I think I've got something just for that.
Bubblegum.
You are very resourceful.
Thanks, but I'd say it was too. They're holding everyone in the studio. It's on the 30th floor.
With a decent amount of amusement, so don't skimp on the nuke.
80s punk is just kind of shitty.
What a freaking psycho. We need to be quick before they kill anyone else. I know that look, Murphy. You saw something, didn't you?
We are here to enforce the law. Stay focused.
Right. Just keep in mind that I'm here if you need me, partner.
Slime bags detected.
Just look at that, boys! The police dog and its bitch!
Not sure which one is which.
You're gonna take that back.
Fucking gross stuff. Nice. Nice! Get away from the grenade! I like it now. Nice. I don't think I can, like, kneel.
Nice and easy.
Got an achievement. Yeah, I can't kneel. No
What
kneeling.
a mess.
Did I do that? Crime evidence. Ammo at? Might be ammo.
Thank God you've come. This lady really needs to see a doctor.
Murphy, these people need help. Why don't you go ahead? I'll stay with them.
Right.
This is Lewis. We have rescued 3 hostages. One with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Requesting urgent medical assistance. Over.
They kind of walk right over that, didn't they? that? What's supposed to happen, I guess? Is that set up?
talking to you, Shiny! Stand back from that door, or I'll shoot her! I swear to nuke!
I don't know what I would do if I ever lost you.
You got 3 seconds! 3!
Our family is the only thing I need to be happy.
2! Are you fucking deaf?
Promise me, we will stay like this forever.
1! Last chance, weirdo!
I love you so much, Alex. You okay there, Murphy?
No. I'm playing the song right now. That sounds about it.
What does it want? Get it away from me!
I am sorry.
Can you see? It's unstable! Ma'am, please, calm down. It's been a very tough evening, and I assure you that everyone wants to be back home with their families. Well, for some of us, the night has just begun.
I mean, the characters look great, but there are some weird things about it. It's low budget, but a high quality engine, it seems like. I feel like it's like the Unreal Engine or something. I don't know, was this made like by a fan or something? It seemed like it was made by
Cash? No problem. You take singles.
Get back in line.
They're here.
Looks like the character from the game, doesn't it? I think she does too, actually.
Good job, Murphy.
I think you're forgetting someone.
Officer Lewis, you were remarkable.
Soot ran off with his tail between his legs.
Would have been nice if we caught him, though.
All right, all right. Are you done with this circle jerk, huh? Good. We've got a problem.
The malfunction caught on camera provokes a question. Can we put our safety into the hands of a machine, especially one as unreliable as Robo? We asked Max Becker, the head of security concepts at OCP.
Now quiet!
We would never put a defective product on the streets. That's not what we do.
We all saw it hesitate in a life-and-death situation. Why? Does it really know right from wrong?
Listen, I would trust this guy with my kids. I mean, if I had any. This was just an isolated glitch. Thank you.
Mr. Becker, I've got more questions.
I just want to snap her neck. But she's got a point. This was not an isolated incident. It's a pattern. A pattern that the old man wants examined and fixed. Time to see what's hiding in that metal-headed goose.
We know what's in Murphy's head. It's what's in yours that worries us.
Push me, and you might just find out. You, follow me.
Everyone is dismissed. And Lewis, I need your report on the TV station incident. On the double.
God damn it, when will this be fixed?
Don't hold your breath. OCP isn't looking to spend a dime on our equipment.
There's my favorite walkie-talkie law enforcement machine.
Okay, let's get on with it.
I didn't know there was a door there.
Why don't you take a seat, then? That's a nasty scar. I'd like to see the other guy. Am I right?
You do not. Trust me.
Don't mind me. I'll just get this off.
Look at his brain.
So, here's the deal, Robo. The old man is not happy with your performance. Instead of sending you to the scrapyard, as I suggested, he wants to fix you. Hey, pretty boy. You sure know how to make an impression on the ladies.
Doesn't it hurt him?
Hurt? Lady, he's a machine. He's legally dead. We can do whatever we want.
No, madam. It does not hurt me physically.
So we're going to equip you with a little monitoring chip. We will do a real-time check of your system so we can get to the bottom of what the hell is wrong with you. From now on, your performance will be monitored and graded. So better be on your best behavior, huh?
The chip is in. Let's see what we have here.
Is there other ways? I don't know. How do I get out of A? Take more shots or something? I guess taking a grenade. Armor and vitality, that's my first go-tos.
Well, I can already see some unwanted activity in your hippocampus. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Other than that, everything seems to be installed correctly. To be sure, let's make a simple test to check that all circuits are in order. What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust. Protect the innocent. Uphold the law.
Okay, nothing disturbing. However, like with any new upgrade, I recommend visiting the range to check if you need calibration.
Is that everything?
Actually, no. Doctor?
Oh, yes, sorry. My name is Dr. Olivia Blanche. I'm a police psychologist. I specialize in dealing with police officers suffering from emotional trauma.
That's so good. One other thing I want to know. Subtitles.
Emotional trauma. Might as well talk to the microwave. It hasn't been working properly either.
OCP wanted to see if you'd be willing to have a talk with me as part of your evaluation. I noticed that a great deal of care has been put into making sure that your mechanical components work. However, one aspect of your composition that has been severely neglected is your human side, your brain.
I agree. If it was up to me, I'd remove it altogether. What do you think, Doctor? It'd save us a lot of hassle.
I don't mind the hassle. So what do you say, officer? Is that possibly something that could be of interest to you?
I am not sure.
Robo, Reed wants everyone in the briefing room in 5. It's about the new guy.
Excuse me, Dr. Blanche, but I am needed elsewhere.
But we...
Well, can't say we didn't try. Everyone get back to whatever the fuck you usually do around here.
Murphy, could you please help me out here?
Hello? Am I helping out with? Am I helping her somewhere?
What seems to be the problem?
What seems to be the problem?
Reed is in the briefing room, and I have my hands full. There are so many complaints filing in that I can't keep up. It's getting crazy in here. Could you open up another line and help me?
I am here to serve the public trust.
Take the spot on the podium. You're a lifesaver, Robo.
This line is open. Please form an orderly queue.
Officer,
man. She's still on the other line.
My neighbors are hostile toward me. I think it's because they're jealous of my new dog. Why would they get so worked up every time I take him for a walk?
What is his name?
He has a beautiful red coat, so I called him Fire. He likes to hide, so sometimes I have to yell, Fire! Fire! to find him. Anyway, you do something about my neighbors?
Your behavior disrupts public order. I must issue a ticket.
That's fine. I don't mind paying the price.
You upheld the law.
Next, please.
I just gave him a ticket. He like came here for something.
I got something for you, officer. I know where you can find this. That poster over there says there's a reward for that information.
I want details.
Are you blind? I'm the guy from that poster, so here I am. Now, give me the money.
I will have to detain you.
Fine, but I still get the reward, right?
You can hope for a reduced sentence.
That's not the reward I was hoping for, but I'll take it. It'll be good to get back to jail. Life is free, man.
I'm sorry, this is kind of funny.
Take him away. Next, please.
Officer,
I'm gonna be a
I would
hardcore
like to
judge
report my
tonight.
son missing.
I wouldn't be like this in real life, but since I'm a
He's
robot.
24, but he's never been gone for so long without letting me know.
How long has it been?
Just over 2 days now.
We do not consider an adult missing within 72 hours.
Please, I'm begging you. Something's not right. You really need to find him.
What is his name and address?
George Elkins, 7706 Orchard Avenue.
Let me check. Your son was found dead.
Oh, no.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, man. I didn't get to help out with the other chick. Whatever. All for the greater good, right? Whatever. I get some experience out of it or something. I assume whatever I'm looking for is down here. Hell yeah, do I get back going?
Murphy, I heard you're scheduled for calibration. Step right up and press the button when you're ready. 50 points is what OCP calls a passing grade. Shouldn't be a problem to you.
record?
Hi, Murphy.
What's up, bro? Looks like the 80s to me.
It's no secret that crime has been on the rise ever since what the media has named the new guy in town showed up in the city. The word on the street is that he wants to spend a lot of money in old Detroit, and that has made every gang in the city start advertising their services. We need to find him before things get out of control.
Where do we look?
Our best bet is to see if he made contact with the court head. Robo, I want you to start by checking the arcade downtown. It's become a high-activity area for punks.
Understood.
Everyone else, keep your eyes open. Any questions?
Any word on Briggs?
What happened to Briggs?
He's been missing since yesterday.
Shit.
Officer Briggs remains missing. That's over 24 hours since he's been in contact with anyone here.
Are the two cases connected?
No reason to assume so. But if anyone finds Briggs' informant, we might learn something new. All right, now get out there.
You go ahead, partner. I need to write this report. And there's something else I need to do first.
Oh, bro. Like that wall?
Go get him!
I have other side missions right now. Oh, I don't even know. I didn't know I had other side quests. I thought I did everything. Let's see what it is real quick. Alright, I'm learning this building already. I remember where the stairs were. Pretty bad whenever you start recognizing rooms from video games.
What seems to be wrong? What?
My damn locker won't open. Can you try? Wait, what is all this shit doing in my locker?
I want you to be safe out there.
Yeah, you guys, very funny.
Now what? Good. She ran a little bit faster. So big.
I can deal with blood, guts, but puke is a no-go for me. Oh, be a sport and move his ass to the drunk tank for me. You've got your special gloves and extra protection, so you shouldn't mind. Just take him downstairs. I owe you one, Murphy. Oh no, the smell is following you. I'm gonna...
This seat is uncomfortable.
Look who's back home. Just toss him in one of the empty seats.
Ah, finally.
Home. Sleep tight.
Police officer, you can issue tickets for misdemeanors like public drinking and disorderly conduct and traffic violations. Hold L to activate RoboCop vision and identify instances of law breaking. Isn't that dude drunk over here? I'm gonna be a dick. Trash. Just trying to imagine what I would be like if I was a robot cop. I'd probably be a dick about everything. You drunk? Publicly drunk? It's publicly drunk to me. I don't know if this law breaking identifier is really working out too well.
Could you please keep the noise down? You're scaring off my customers.
Can't hear you. Music's too loud.
Good evening. Those two men bothered.
First they harass my customers. Then they threatened to burn down my shop. You need to do something about it, officer.
What do you want, cop? Can't we have a little bit of fun? We did nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, you say. I say, nothing wrong in breaking criminal bones. Maybe we should all practice what we preach.
There's something wrong with this beer, or if listening to this silver nutcase made me sober up. Come on, man. Let's band.
Thanks,
How can I assist you, officer?
I'm trying to catch this one shifty dealer. This guy steals nuke from other pushers to sell it at half price. This dopehead buys from him but won't tell me his whereabouts.
I don't know any dealer.
You were carrying for 3 different pushers, so you either like to walk for miles to buy nuke, or you appreciate a discount.
Don't take it out on me because the guy broke your nose.
As you can see, he doesn't want to cooperate.
Do not worry. According to my directives, there are several ways to convince him to cooperate.
I ain't gonna let it reprogram my brain. We can talk, but don't let it drill into my head, okay? The guy's name's Maurice, but I don't know where to find him. I always arrange a place over a payphone. I'll give you the number.
Let's hope it works. The dealer knows where the others had their stash. We could collect nuke from the whole neighborhood if we get to him.
I will take care of that.
But you need to find a payphone first. Try near the supermarket. I think at least one of them hasn't been smashed by vandals yet.
Inside?
And she takes off her top and says,
Hey, this is a private conversation, pig.
Favorite TV star.
Thanks to you, Kurt's finally had a reason to watch something other than the fast food channel.
I was merely doing my duty. That kind of hostile situation is not the only thing I can resolve. Can you tell me what happened here?
Nasty murder. The victim is a white female, mid-20s, identified as Casey Carmel. Had a history of petty crime and prostitution, but believe it or not, that's her real name. Case is closed. OCP won't spend a single dime on the murder of a prostitute.
Cost optimization. Fancy name for we don't give a shit about poor people.
So if you were to look around the crime scene, you would potentially be exposing OCP to extra costs.
If you want to do that, be our guest.
Is that homeless man considered a suspect?
Nah, we know the guy. You can rule him out.
The guy's a loon, a mental patient. He thinks that aliens dumped the body here.
Talk to him if you want. Just prepare to hear a tall tale about green people.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
I bet the girl was killed somewhere else. The body was only dumped here. We got the tire tracks, drag marks. We find a car that matches. We find our perp. I guess the perp had his hands covered in some green-blue guacamole-ish food. The body's covered in.
Why does it always come back to food with you? Anyway, we need to do a proper analysis.
Not that water's dripping on her head.
The best way to cut the costs of policing is to cut the criminals down.
Tell me about it. I didn't join the force to pick up dead bodies off the street.
Yeah, but what can we do?
I will look around. We must bring the murderer to justice.
Somebody dumped her a few feet from here. The blood traces on the ground indicate she was dragged.
I thought it was a dude. I guess because they look like short hair. I guess it's a chick, but I thought it was a dude at first. I'm not looking for her.
That's this green-blue shit under her arm. No idea what it might be, but there is more of it around. Nasty wound. Looks like she was hit with a blunt object, possibly a hammer. Her heels had to touch the ground when the body was dragged.
Probably belong to our victim. Let's try to find other clues.
Custom extended wheelbase. Have you seen a vehicle like this around?
What nerve it down
I can help you find the guy who dumped the body here. I saw him, but you must accept the truth.
Tell me what you know.
It's as simple as it gets. Aliens did it.
Aliens?
I've been investigating them for years. They send rats to spy on me. They don't want me to show you this list. It's a list of aliens living in Detroit. All 37,617 of them. The murderer included.
Most likely a van with a custom extended wheelbase. Does your list contain any information on such a vehicle?
Jackpot! I've got a guy with a van that matches your description. I don't know his ID, but I know where you can find him. A film set near the courthouse. They're shooting a TV commercial that's run by aliens, so it all makes sense. Casey must have discovered something there, and they got her. That must have been what's happened.
Why do you think that aliens are involved?
I saw the guy who dumped the body here. I saw his skin. It was green and glowing like those toy dinosaurs that children play with, and years later develop serious diseases from.
Why do you think that aliens run the set?
Who do you think runs the advertising business? They're stuffing commercials with subliminal messages. They use additional film frames with commands to make us obey. Don't you know what happens to those who watch TV?
What is the purpose of your list?
It's my tool to spread the truth. I update it every month and add it to my newsletter.
I think this
You
guy's
should
insane.
read it.
I believe him.
It's free. You'll find out some stuff that you wouldn't see on TV.
Like
After
what?
the shit I've seen in
Take
the
the
news,
moon
I
landing,
believe
for
him.
example. Didn't happen. Why? Because the moon doesn't exist. First time hearing about it?
Oh, shit.
That's why you need my newsletter.
That's the next rabbit hole. Save that for another day.
I will verify your statement. Nevertheless, I recommend you consult a psychiatrist at the earliest possible time. Now, he said.
Apparently it's plastic. I kind of tried my car around. Didn't want to make the game that badass, huh? Just roam around on his RoboCop. The smelly, steamy world that we're in. What is this, Detroit? doesn't
Hey,
it?
I'll learn less if you hang around here.
You breaking any laws? Law-breaking sensors aren't sensing anything for some reason. Shit. Alright. Don't break any laws. Alright, I think I see a law broken.
Help! Help! This rascal was trying to steal my cart. Look what he's done!
Have I just wrecked your life savings? Tough shit, stinker.
Antisocial behavior towards a fellow citizen can be classified as a crime.
Should I let it go? Just homeless people. Nope.
Lesson for the future. To save yourself the trouble. Clean up on the double.
You can't do it. I was only messing. I could have just picked it all up.
You tell him, Robot Man!
What a fucking joke!
I'm gonna clean up this town, bitch. Get out of here. Yeah. Feel better now? Feel like I served some justice. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be funny if you heard like a robot yelling at you like that. Right after it served a ticket to you. No, that'd be
What is
kinda
happening
fucked up,
here?
actually. I don't know if that was
They're shooting a TV commercial for Sunblock 5000.
Night does not seem an appropriate time for such practice.
Yeah, they ran into some problems, and it's running later than expected.
I swear, we're staying here until we finish. You're doing it without me.
Don't you think you're being unreasonable?
You better find us another understudy so we can get this over with.
Let him in. It wasn't long.
I have reason to believe that someone from your crew is involved in a crime. We found a green-blue substance like your sunblock at the crime scene. The suspect was driving a van with a custom extended wheelbase.
We use a lot of different vans, but I wouldn't know if they're the type you're looking for.
In that case, I would like to look around.
Actually, you could be of some use to me, too. I have a problem here. Its name is Jerry.
Jerry
and he needs him to
Jenkins.
cancel his contract, and I think you could find him for me.
That does not sound like a task of a police officer.
But it could be, though. I'm sure he's guilty of something. You just have to find out what it is. I can give you access to anything without a warrant.
Give you access to anything without a warrant. Punitive.
Your proposal may be considered punitive. I will hold anyone who breaks the law responsible.
I believe that. Dig deep. I bet Mr. Big Shot doesn't have a clear conscience. Start with the computer. There's a list of vehicles allowed to park on set there. But look for something.
It's not a word I use often. Punitive. Punitive. Scanning. Sunblock. A lot of sunblock. So much sunblock. More skid marks. Maybe computer.
The evidence I have gathered shows that you are connected to the investigation that I am conducting.
So what?
I read your messages. They seem to connect you with the case. Would you like to explain?
You've read my private messages? How did you get access to them? That bitch sent you after me, didn't she? She's looking for a way to screw me over and hide her incompetence. You want to investigate something, then ask her about the guy she hired as the understudy. His face looks like a walking mugshot. On top of that, I bet he's the one who stole my ring. See what she has to say about it, pal.
I spoke with Jenkins. He mentioned that you hired a criminal. This individual may be the perpetrator I'm looking for.
You mean the understudy? Did Jenkins tell you that I hired him? He was the one who recommended him for the job. Don't believe me? Check the camera footage to see what good friends they
Why did you hire the understudy?
Jenkins' contract says he will not use sunblock, and none of the professional understudies wanted to do it either. They all say it's toxic. So I had no choice. Jenkins brought a guy and said he could do the job.
Where is the understudy now?
I have no idea. And that's the whole point. We can't keep shooting because he's disappeared. The guy's in the hospital or worse, because if he's not, I'll kill him myself. It's a joke, of course. You understand jokes, don't you?
She's evil when she's mad.
Show me the footage.
Check the camera footage.
Who are you, pal?
Your agent sent me. Special services. Pussies, man. I've got a place.
Of course, Mr. Jenkins, I'll take
it and get lost. The smell of hard-boiled eggs mixing with this green shit makes me want to puke. Looking at your face doesn't help either. You mentioned something about special services.
Only the best in Detroit.
I find that hard to believe.
I've got just the girl for you. Her name's Casey. She's
no names.
Your understudy offered you the services of a prostitute. She was likely the prostitute who was killed.
People offer me things all the time, but that doesn't mean I accept every one of them.
Withholding information about illegal activity is also a crime.
Ha! If that's the case, I wouldn't be the only criminal in this goddamn business. You know what? Now that I think about it, why shouldn't I help the law enforcement of this here beautiful city?
Where can I find the understudy?
He works at a gas station nearby. But I don't think that's his main source of income.
I am not done with you yet. Do not leave the city. Sunblock is the least of your worries.
Look, I know why you're here, but I'm innocent! I swear!
You are being detained in connection with the murder of Casey Carmel. If you require medical attention, it will be given to you.
I didn't do it! Jenkins killed her! Jerry Jenkins! The guy from TV! You have to believe me!
You will make your statement at the station.
And you'll let Jenkins walk free! He's the one who killed Casey! They met here yesterday!
Casey's body is covered in sunblock. The evidence points to you.
I arranged the meeting, I admit, but I was gone when this happened. When I came back, she was already dead, and I decided to get rid of the body. Jenkins is the only one who could have done it.
Why would Jenkins be leaving across the street here? There is a motel across the street.
His agent got a hold of me and told me that the guy values his privacy. The money was good, and I was able to provide him with a discreet option.
And Jenkins was happy with the arrangement.
He was bitching at first, but when he saw Casey, he stopped being so picky.
Why would Jenkins kill that woman?
I don't know! I wasn't there!
Are you stalling?
She may have mentioned something about wanting to blackmail Jenkins, but I knocked the idea out of her head. At least I think I did.
Why did you not kill Jenkins?
What would I say? That a famous celebrity killed a street prostitute in the back of my gas station? That's a bit much even for this city.
Dumping that woman's body in the dumpster seemed like a better idea to you.
It's not my fault that people would rather believe a guy from TV over me.
I will verify your version of events, but you will still suffer the consequences of the actions you have taken.
Hurry up, please! It burns!
Of course, I gotta analyze the spit. Blood type. Oh, it's blood.
According to the evidence, Jenkins is guilty of the murder of Casey Carmel.
I told you!
However, you are guilty of concealing a crime. desecration of a corpse. I will call medical assistance. You will be taken in when your condition permits.
I thought that was a loading screen. It looked so good. No crimes detected here. Detect a crime way over there, though. I don't know what it is. I detect one. Graffiti. I detect a crime. Arrest Jerry Jenkins.
Can't let you in, Robo. They're in the middle of a shot.
This cannot wait.
They say that 20 seconds in the California sunshine is too much these days. Ever since we lost the ozone layer.
I have a solution for you if you are looking for some protection against that California sunshine.
The hell?
A stay in Detroit prison. Jerry Jenkins, you are under arrest for the murder of Casey Carmel.
I've seen you on TV. You're glitching again. Ah, it hurts. For fuck's sake, it hurts.
I always wanted to be a cop. I even applied to the academy. But it turns out that instead.
Crap! Give me back my money, you piece of shit!
Don't you cops ever get bored with harassing successful entrepreneurs?
Hey! This shit is rigged!
That's a serious accusation, kiddo. Someone might think I would allow such illegal activity in my high-class business, which I do not. I get lost.
You work for Soot. Tell me where to find him.
You cops are giving me a stomach ulcer. Stop asking me about guys I don't know.
Withholding information can lead to bigger trouble than a stomach ulcer.
Look, I'm a busy man, so I'm going back to my office now. Why don't you join me there, and we'll talk. Oh, on second thought, you can't do that, because you don't have a warrant, do you?
What a douchebag.
How do I get a warrant?
Come back with a warrant, cop.
Pick something big. My past.
Your body readings suggest substance misuse.
Man, a real life TJ laser? So incredibly shiny! I'm definitely getting more of this.
Who sold you drugs?
I really shouldn't say, but you are my TV hero. Alright. All of the arcade staff will sell to you. As long as you can cash. Unfortunately, I'm broke. I have a great idea. You could help me sneak into the basement and keep a huge stash of goodies down there.
Drugs in the basement? I will take care of it.
Would you really do that for me? Way to go, TJ!
Boring, Rick.
Open the door. I have the warrant.
Update? I think I dropped my key somewhere. You'd have to break down this hardened door if you want to get in.
That will not be a problem.
Oh shit. Tony. I think he's dead. I feel like it's another crime.
It's RoboCop!
Surrender your weapons.
Jets! Light 'em up!
shit too.
Open the door, or you will regret it.
Can't a guy just sell drugs to kids without you harassing him every 5 minutes? Who am I hurting, huh? They all want it.
Where do I find soot?
Well, if that's the case, shut it, bozo. Unless you want to end up in the ghost house like that cop's informant. And don't you dare open that door, I'll shoot you.
Have it your way. Surrender your weapons.
No chance! Light him up!
Open the door, or you will regret it.
Can't a guy just sell drugs to kids without you harassing him every 5 minutes? Who am I hurting, huh? They all want it.
Where do I find soot?
Well, if that's the case, shut it, bozo. Unless you want to end up in the ghost house like that cop's informant. And don't you dare open that door, I'll shoot you.
Have it your way.
Oh yeah, I still don't have it, so I went back for nothing. Son of a bitch, bro. Turn the lights off. Yeah, I forgot. We're in the 80s. Mixing up my decades.
Perfect. This is Reed. Mayor Kuzak just stormed into my office. Apparently, his niece's car has been stolen. Find it. This goes to the top of your priority list. You can start by asking about it in some of the local garages. For the record, it's a blue SUV.
Gonna stop right here. Alright. Appreciate everybody that stopped by tonight. Thank you, Danger Mouse. Anybody else? Follow if you're new. See you again sometime here soon. Have a great day.